In this video, I'm going to talk about my experience so far applying in the SAPS. Well, my journey in the SAPS applications started sometime, I believe, early September 2023, around the 3rd. It was probably the last day that the applications were open, and I submitted my CV and my application form along with the required documents, being the matric certificate, ID copy, and a testimonial. That was the supporting documents I submitted along with my application form for at the SAPS police station near me in Hop House. And then from then on, I was invited, I believe also early or mid-October, to write a psychometric test. Now, a psychometric test consists of 3 tests, and some of them really, number one being, I believe, an English test or a comprehension test, and then another, or the last 2, I cannot really remember well, but you have to answer questions like you agree or you disagree, or you strongly agree, basically telling the police, telling a story of yourself, something like, I don't like noise, strongly agree, or disagree, strongly disagree, and then you pick the one that describes you best. That was basically it about the psychometric test. And I have to say, the first 2 tests, they give us so little time. I did not finish any of them. I did not finish any of the tests except the last 2 tests that, okay, basically let me just frame it this way. There are tests within the psychometric test that you write, with the time limit, like 10 minutes or for 30 minutes, I cannot remember well, or 20 minutes. Basically, they time you, and then there are tests that they do not time you for at all. You just finish those within your own time. No pressure whatsoever. These timed tests, I did not finish any of them. In fact, I do not believe I even got to the halfway, But I did my best. Those questions that I answered, I really did my best. And from the psychometric test, we waited a bit, about 200 and something applicants, apparently. 213 applicants, and out of that, 15 people were invited for the fitness test. Just imagine, out of 213 people, and then only 15 people were taken for the fitness test. And out of that 15, only 10 made it to the interview phase. I remember there was an issue, a case where one of the applicants that was supposed to do a fitness test did not bring along an original copy of the matric certificate, and that was it. They just said he could not participate in the fitness test, and his journey ended there, and unfortunate stuff, it's very unfortunate. And then from the fitness test, basically in the fitness test, we ran 30 laps of a beep test or a blip test, we run, beep, you go to the other lap, and then beep, you go to the other one, beep, another lap, and you run around for 30 laps, you know. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is how they count. And for the first 15 laps, the blip test is just the same. And then from the 15th one, it starts to increase the pace. Boop, 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 boop. Something like that. And then you have to sprint and run. So I've always been someone who's very active. I run in the mornings or in the evenings, depending on what I choose on the day. You know, it was not really a difficult test for me. And from that, we went for punching bag. You know, the punching bag around 30 kg. No, was it 30 kg or 35 kg? I cannot remember if it was 35 or 30, but what you have to do with that punching bag is you have to carry it and put it, basically you can carry it like this, or you can put it on your shoulder, or you can put it on your head, however way you can balance it, carry that bag and run with it for 20 meters from one end to another end, and do that all in 10 seconds. If you exceed the 10 seconds, you are disqualified. You're not fit enough to become a police officer. Well, and that is it. And that's it. Just 2 tests. The punching bag test and the blip test. Once you are through with that, you're good to go. But before you get to run or carry the punching bag, they have to measure your height, and they have to measure your abdomen, basically your around your waist, to see how much you measure. And if the measurements exceed, like they call it BMI. If your BMI exceed 107 as a man, then you cannot run. You are disqualified automatically. And that was it. When it comes to height, I don't think there's any. I don't think there's a problem at all with height, unless you are a midget, like really, really short, you know? Because there were some people that were so short, but they still got to run. And I remember this other guy, he was very short, but skinny as well. He couldn't even carry the 30 kg punching bag, and he was disqualified. So your height, I don't think, as long as you're a normal human being, you know, like if you're not extremely short, like a midget, then you're good to go with height. And with ladies, they had to run 18 laps from one end to the other end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they had to run 18, and a lot of ladies are unfit. Ladies, really, you need to up your game. If there's any ladies watching this, you really need to up your game, guys. Really now, you cannot afford to lose job opportunities because you cannot get hold of your bodies. Some of them, I could see they can do it, but they were just not used to putting their body through pain and discomfort. Once they get kind of tired, they stopped. Ladies, you have to push, and you have to show your eagerness and relentlessness. You know, you have to make a serious effort to get there. I mean, ladies, some of them gave up way too easily from what I saw, really. And after the fitness test, which we did in February, no, we didn't do them in February. We did the fitness test mid-January, and from mid-January we waited until early February for the interview. If you passed, if you made it to the, if you made it through the psychometric test, through the fitness test, the next step was interviews for us. And then from interviews, we go to a medical assessment where they're going to check drugs and stuff like that, your heart, I don't know. But I believe it's just this search for what might hinder you from becoming a police officer. For example, if you're a drug abuser, maybe they may disqualify you. I've not been through that, but I'll probably do a part two when we get once I go through that, you know. Yeah. So basically, yeah, that's it. It's not a really complicated process. But when it comes to the interviews, first of all, I was asked why I want to become a cop or why I want to become a police officer, and I was asked what I would do to maintain a good relationship between the police force and the community should I be appointed. And then I was also asked the values of a true or a good police officer, in my opinion. And also from then, I was asked if I would be able to work anywhere within South Africa, and of course the answer is yes. I'm willing to work from anywhere because I want the job. Basically, that is it. It's not really a difficult interview at all. But I do have to say though that many people looked very scared before they go into the interview room. I was also kind of scared, but I I was like, no, I did not allow fear to overwhelm me. Basically, some people you could see visibly on their faces that the fear within themselves is overwhelming them. Kind of like you could see that they were going to have a tough time in that interview. My advice to you is do not be afraid. Because when you are afraid, you stutter, you even forget things that you are supposed to say, you forget, you answer stupidly because you are not in your mind, you're not yourself. So please, for the interview, calm yourself down in whatever way you can. One of the ways I calm myself down for an interview is I become delusional. What do I mean by delusional? I tell myself that I'm better than these people. Not better than the interviewees, people that are going to interview us. Yeah. I tell myself that these are merely just human beings like me, and in fact, I'm better than them, so I'm not afraid of them. That's how I project my mind. I program my mind. Sorry. That's how I program my mind. I told myself I'm better than these people and they cannot intimidate me. I will look them in their eyes and answer every question they ask me confidently. That was my mindset. And you know what? Once you start thinking like that, you also start to develop reasons within yourself of why, of course, you are better than them, why you are confident and stuff. So if you try to do the same thing for yourself, maybe it might help you a little bit. Just try to, make yourself comfortable and yeah, do not be overwhelmed by fear. Yeah, that's all I can say about my experience applying at the SAPS to become a police officer constable.